Alright, time to look at how to solve some problems using what we've learned about arcs and angles. So for these, you're given either the measure of an arc or the measure of a central angle, and you are to identify the missing piece. So here, the key thing to remember is the relationship between the measure of the central angle and the arc it intercepts. And that key thing to remember is that whatever the central angle is, the arc that it intercepts is going to be exactly equal to that. So in problem 1, our unknown arc, which is this arc right here, is just the arc that's intercepted by this central angle. So in this case, very simply, the measure of that arc is 112 degrees. It is the same as the central angle that intercepts it. So hey, that was easy. Maybe they'll all be that good. And then we look at number 2. Alright, so number 2, we use the same fact. The angle of the central that central angle's measure is the same measure as the arc that it intercepts. So here we know that this angle is going to be 42 degrees. Just not even looking at the question yet, things I can figure out. And I'm asked to find the measure of arc BC. Well, that's over here. Well, in order to know the measure of that arc, I need to know the measure of that angle. Fortunately for us, these are vertical angles. So whereas that one's 42 degrees, this one's 42 degrees as well. And if that is 42 degrees, since it's a central angle and it intercepts arc BC, we can say that the measure of arc BC is going to be equal to 42 degrees. Now for number 3, where things get slightly less straightforward. On number 3, we are asked to find the measure of arc Hlg, So, angle Hlg. Wow, you ever have that moment where all conscious thought leaves you? That was it right there. Alright, so angle Hlg is what we're trying to find. So we know that angle Hlg is going to be 13x minus 2. Well, the problem is we don't know what x is. So we need to figure it out. And we can't fall back on that piece of information that the central angle is the same as that. That doesn't help us at all. We do have other information though. We know what degree of arc there is in a circle. If we add up all of these, it has to equal 360. So let's start with arc GK is 44 degrees plus arc KG 73, and notice I'm just going around, plus 8x plus 11 plus 45 plus 13x minus 2, and now I'm all the way back around. So if I add up all of those arc lengths, the total arc length in a circle is 360. So now all I have to do is take care of all this algebra. So let's do the numbers first. 44 plus 73 plus 11 plus 45 minus 2 is going to be 171. Now I'm going to add my x's together. 8x plus 13x would be 21x. So 21x plus 171 equals 360. Let's go ahead and take care of 360 minus 171. So we find that 21x is equal to 189. Divide both sides by 21, and I find that x equals 9. So now that I know what x is, I can go back and I can say that the measure of angle HLG is going to be, and that's a G, not a 6, the measure of angle HLG will be equal to 13x, well, x is 9, minus 2, and with a wee bit of calculation, I find that that is going to be 115 degrees. So again, here I'm combining pieces of information that I know that central angle measure is the same as the measure of the arc, and that the total measure of angle and arc in a circle is 360 degrees.